The first question to Carl Jung, and it is a very simple picture of who you are, what you do. Who are you, Carl Jung?
Yes, so I am most known for my ideas in psychology. I worked most of my life as a psychiatrist. I was born in Switzerland and in the 1870s, and I attended the University of Basel, where I studied psychiatry and medicine. And after that, I worked at the hospital at Bergheltzli as a psychiatrist, and for many years. After that, I opened up my home practice as a psychiatrist, and I wrote many books on psychology, and especially about the theory of the collective unconscious.
Okay. And what was your family like? So obviously you had a good education, but but your father wasn't rich himself. You weren't from a rich family.
No, my father was a minister of
Right.
the Swiss Reformed Church. And
Right.
at first, I honestly thought that I would follow my father's footsteps and also become a minister.
Mm-hmm.
As a child, well, to use my own psychological terminology, I was an introverted child.
Mm-hmm.
I spent a lot of time alone.
I think another psychologist who's very famous is Sigmund Freud. I think most people have heard of him.
Yes.
And you knew him personally, didn't you, as well? Could you maybe tell me a little bit about him, your relationship with him, and also maybe how are you different to him? How are you similar to him?
Yes. So I first came to his attention after I wrote my book, and then we became very, very good friends. In fact, he made me the president of the International Psychoanalytic Association.
Close, like you were almost like his star student at one moment then.
Yes. He did not agree with my idea about the collective unconscious and how this becomes part or must become part of a person's formation of their personality. I think that Sigmund Freud really focused on this concept of the personal unconscious and how this develops during our childhood
Mm-hmm.
as certain things are repressed from our
Right,
conscious mind into the subconscious
right.
during the stages of development as a child.
And then a lot of the journey of psychoanalysis then is to bring things out of the subconscious that have been repressed or buried.
Yes.
Is that the idea? Our big question tomorrow is we're going to have a show called Who Are You? It's about our process for how people, especially young people, can start the process of trying to work out their own personal identity. So if I could ask you, Mr. Jung, if someone to know who they are, to answer the question, who are you, how should they start doing that based on your practices and ideas?
Yes, well, that is a very complex question. A lot of times in society, we put on these masks known as
Right.
personas, our work persona, our school persona, our family persona. So this concept of who are you is something that we must constantly ask ourselves and we must dig for through such methods as dream analysis.
Right. So I just try to put that in a different way, but that's actually very interesting that you're saying that in our conscious life, the way we live our life, we have these masks, you call them.
Yes.
So we basically almost pretend to be, or we are different people. So if we're at school, we could be a different person to when we're with the family, or we could be a different person in another situation. And if we want to find out who we really are, we somehow have to get underneath this shifting personalities and find something deeper.
Absolutely.
That's the basic idea. what you're saying. And is psychoanalysis, the process of psychoanalysis, would you describe it, is it really this process of trying to find who you are underneath? What are the things that are troubling you?
Definitely. It is various means in which to get in touch with our unconscious, both our personal unconscious, which are things we repress because of society and family, and also the collective unconscious.
Is any more questions from over here or comments?
Why is it useful for the average person to go through psychoanalysis?
Well, if you want to better yourself and actually learn who you are and be able to answer that question as a person who is as true to yourself as you can be, then it is useful to do psychoanalysis. And if you repress a lot of these things in your unconscious mind, then you can often develop what I termed as complexes.
Right. So in some ways you feel it's almost like a process for anybody, like a form of, there's physical fitness. It's almost like a mental fitness workout to keep uncovering the things you've repressed in your life.
Yes, this is not just for those who may be experiencing psychosis. This is for everyone to improve themselves.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Carl Jung. Thank you very much, Bethany, for taking the time to answer the questions on behalf of the spirit of Carl Jung.